Yeah, I'd love to. I was born for this. It's Ooga. It's something like that.
Would it be so bad if an 84-year-old got into heroin?
Welcome to the Cat Organizational Podcast.
You idiot. It's written down in front of you idiot.
This is like the buffalo chicken wrap of answers.
I haven't heard about hot orcs in a while.
We were so horny for motion controls in 2005.
I can't wait to come back and tell you how it was Noah's Ark, you asshole.
I would also like to retroactively say I've never had cotton candy acid.
So Andrew's 100% doing a voice, right?
Everybody get off IMDb now. Time to record.
This episode and probably this whole podcast is a mistake.
Hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books and video games. But in the 3 years we've been doing this show, I realize it's been surprisingly devoid of massively multiplayer games that do not start with the words over and watch. So
You said that like it was such a bad thing, and I don't understand why it's a bad thing.
it is a bad thing, and today we're going to remedy that. You guys, DT exclamation point HQ has recently been contacted by, get ready for this.
Oh boy.
I hate it every time.
It's so aesthetically pleasing to see it written down.
Yeah.
We've been recently contacted by the one, the only Prolific Esports Company LLC.
My favorite.
Big deal. Big deal. And they want us to help them generate interest in the World of Warcraft PvP scene. Now, the reason for that is World of Warcraft's latest expansion, Shadowlands, was supposed to be coming out in October, probably going to be coming out later this year. And that is all of the information that I have on the subject of World of Warcraft.
Can I just say that Prolific Esports Company LLC sounds like the company that hired me to go pimp Mountain Dew Game Fuel at Walmart's around Columbus a year and a half ago. Like that's exactly who signed that paycheck for me.
Can I ask a question too about how you typed esports? Was that on purpose? Like, were you being ironic with that?
I don't know.
Is there a right and a wrong way?
Yes.
Is that the wrong way? What's the right
it's
way to do it?
It's very wrong. Yes. A lot of like
I typed it so for the people listening, I typed it like old women type email, which is with a low C.
Yeah.
Capital.
I will literally ignore emails and DMs from people that spell it or like capitalize it that way.
That's awesome. Thank you for telling me that.
They don't know what they're doing.
So that's why none of our sponsors
have
have written us back. Good
Yeah,
job.
I love
that.
there. We found the reason.
Capital E or lowercase e, and that's it. It's just a noun.
Holy shit. Well,
yeah.
Awesome. Fuck. All right.
I thought it was a joke. You could have just rolled with it.
It was totally a joke. All right, so here's the deal, guys. Prolific Esports Company that is definitely not exclusively owned and operated by Mark Cuban LLC believes that we can pull in a fresh new audience by combining the world of competitive gaming to the world of competitive physical sports, because that's what normal humans call regular people sports. Now get this though, here's the twist, right? Their big idea is to convert a real-life sports mascot into an exclusive mount that players can acquire in the World of Warcraft.
Good.
Yeah.
Perfect crossover.
That's a pretty on-brand idea for Mark Cuban, if I do say so myself.
It's got big Mark Cuban energy.
It's not Mark Cuban though. It's right in the name. Not
that's true.
exclusively
It's
owned by
exclusively
Mark
not Mark Cuban.
The head of PECTIDNEOAOBMC LLC.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, God.
They've called in a panel of experts from across the world of competitive gaming to collaborate on this massive undertaking. And the only expert who actually showed up is our special guest, Jillian Harrison Jones Long, or better known as Eiya in the world of competitive WoW.
Hello.
Hey, Eiya.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
You're quite welcome. So I educated you earlier. I don't know who the person in the middle of my name is. I don't know what that
this
means.
one.
Oh.
I need to be educated.
So one of the things that we do here is we give everybody stupid like nicknames at the beginning of our episodes. So this one and the next couple are actually NPCs. One of the things that I do know about WoW is that it's riddled with pop culture references. So I looked for NPCs that are pop culture references in WoW. So Harrison Jones is the Indiana Jones quest giver in Mist of Pandaria, I think.
That's funny.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Where did you find that?
Wowpedia, my dude.
Got it.
You're educating me on WoW. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if his card in Hearthstone came first or if the WoW quest giver came first, but it's a Hearthstone card as well.
Okay. I don't know either.
A frequent reappearing card in Hearthstone.
It should be said that we have the other usual panel of dum-dums here. We've got Matt, Road, Trog, Cole,
Thank you.
Todd, Duke Ukum, Thomas,
Ugh.
and Kyle, Jack Bowden, Harper.
Good.
The other
Wow.
one's so much worse.
It's terrible.
Can you guys guess what those are? They're two of the three of them should be pretty obvious.
They're all in
Yeah,
WoW. Wait.
These
What
are
was
all
it?
these
Where
are
were
all these are all NPCs in WoW. These are I think all of these are, if not most of them are at least quest
terrible.
givers.
So
I have
we're
no
talking about
idea.
World of
I wouldn't have known
Warcraft today.
Right.
So
Yeah.
a game that I think collectively all of
Yeah.
us have played at least once, maybe.
Road Trog is Roadhog is just the Roadhog
Yep.
comparison. Duke Ukum is Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
And then Jack Bowden is Jack
It's
Bauer.
Jack Bauer. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
bad.
That's really
It's-
bad.
it's
Duke
terrible.
Nukem feels like a copyright infringement.
And those
though.
are in WoW?
Yeah.
Apparently, I can't.
Oh my God.
They're in Wowpedia. I cannot confirm or deny if they're actually in WoW.
Well, to my defense, sometimes they're in the data mining, but they don't actually end up in the game. But I also tend
That's
to
fair.
like go through my quests and everything, like not paying attention or reading.
Yeah,
It's
things on
also
my
very
screen.
possible they only showed up for like a 6-month or a short period of
Yeah.
time for like a special event and then
Yeah.
went away forever since they're
That's
very
a lot of these are like
pointed
that.
That's why I don't know who they are. I don't-
references.
yes.
You know,
They're all in. There
I
was
play WoW all the
look,
time.
the list of pop culture references was like 4x longer in the Mist of Pandaria section than any other X back.
Oh,
So
interesting.
who knows?
Good.
Anyway, Eiya, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I am Eiya or Jillian, depending on who you ask. I am the current AWC host, and I also sideline report, and I just am sort of generally involved in the talent spectrum on the WoW esports scene. And I've done, as I mentioned before we started recording, a couple of Tier 2 Overwatch tournaments as well recently.
Awesome.
Nice.
She's legit,
Very
y'all.
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
got
that's
an
so much
expert.
more
Way
legitimate
more
than
legit
anything we
than
do.
what we're doing here today.
Yeah.
So thank you.
We're getting really good at pulling in these ringer guests so that we can talk about topics that we don't know.
Yeah, that's how we're evolving.
We'll also just apologize in advance. We hope that we don't sully this thing that you love so much.
No. BFA, the current expansion, love is a strong word. So
Yeah,
There
I
we
was
go.
going to say, we won't do anything
I don't know
that,
if love's the proper word at the moment.
we won't do anything
Yeah.
worse than Blizzard's already done to WoW.
Right. Yeah.
Do you play too? Do you play competitively?
Poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mostly watch.
Okay.
and
And what do you
and
usually play
talk.
as?
I've played a Death Knight since Wrath of the Lich King, and then
Okay.
the patch, one of the patches that was in this expansion BFA 8.3, is when I switched over to a Demon Hunter, which is memed
Nice.
aggressively in the WoW community
Okay.
because it's very easy
Aggressively.
and does
What,
lots of damage.
Is that a DPS class?
Yes, it's
Got
melee
it.
DPS. Yeah.
Awesome. I remember my only reference for that is World of Warcraft, or not Warcraft 3,
Mm.
because I played a lot of Warcraft 3, and then I played WoW like when it first came out, but that was, as you said before we recorded, about 15 years ago. So cool. Yeah, it's
Feels
an
bad.
old game.
Old game.
All right, awesome. Well, let's get into it. Expert panel and Matt, Todd, and Kyle. Please, please hit me with your pitches. Remember, we need to bring a new audience into the fold, and it's clear the only guaranteed way to do that is to pander to them by a way too expensive partnership with a familiar brand that will amount in an overpriced cosmetic item. So tell me, which famous sports team mascot will be the next mount that players can get in-game, and then give me a little bit of a backstory about the mascot you've chosen. Matt, let's start with you.
Yeah, sure. So since I'm first in line here, I feel that it is my responsibility to make it very clear that I know nothing about WoW. Mist of
that hasn't been clear
Pandaria
already.
is the thing. I don't know. When I hear people talk about WoW, my brain does the same thing that it does when I hear people talk about cars, which is like, yeah, I remember that word. That's a cool word. But I gain none of the actual information. So yeah, cool. What I know a decent amount about is sports and dumb bullshit sports trivia. So when asked to come up with the next great WoW mount, from a crazy sports team mascot, the pickings were anything but slim. Unfortunately for me, like we've said, WoW is an old game and has been around for like 1,000 years, and there's already been a mount of basically every fathomable animal that I could come up with. I was going to go with the TCU horned frogs, but the green marshhopper exists. Then I was going to go with Dinger the Triceratops, but apparently there's some wild thing called the Reigns of the Jade Primordial Direhorn. I'm just saying words. Long story short, in a game where everything has been done, including literally just an Acme missile with a zebra skin seat called the Big Love Rocket, it is nearly impossible to be unique. I'm so glad that's the one you confirmed.
That one's hard to obtain.
That's what I read. It's got like a 0.03% drop rate.
Very low.
For the week around Valentine's Day.
What is it, just like a raid item?
You could probably say Reigns of the blah, 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 blah. Like, just throw anything in there and it probably exists in World of Warcraft. So that was a accurate statement.
Just a string of nouns and adjectives.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everything is a Mad Lib. So just when I thought I was at the end of my list, I realized that instead of thinking big, maybe I needed to think small. And with that, my friends, please allow me to introduce you to the Mad Ant of the Fort Wayne Mad Ants, a very real mascot from a very real basketball team in the very real NBA G League in very real Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Wait,
That's not real.
Hold on.
Fort Wayne,
NBA
Indiana isn't a real
G
place.
League?
I feel like we need to
look this
pause.
up.
I feel like we need to pause. What the hell is the NBA G League?
Okay,
I should not know that, right? As
No,
like a
He's
human,
ready
I
for
shouldn't
this
know that?
answer. Okay.
Yeah, the NBA G League is like the official minor league of the NBA. It was called like the NBA Premier League or the Development League, but then Gatorade bought the sponsorship, and now it's the NBA G League.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
like, is there an
no.
E and F league or
There is only a G League.
it
It
just
is
goes
G.
straight to
Nope,
G?
it's
Gatorade.
just, it's not
That
a
was-
rating. It's
G for
branded for
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
That
Yeah.
was way less insane
Hate
than I
it.
thought it was going to be. Okay.
Right. This is also the time that if you haven't seen the terrifying Mad Ant, here is a picture in the document of this absolute fucking horror show.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
It looks like
Yeah.
it
Why
was
does it look
made-
racist? Like it looks.
It's if you guys remember the ant character from the movie Ants, it's like that but worse.
The movie's so good.
Not Bugs Life. Ants.
Oh,
Ants was the
okay.
bad one.
The Woody
Bugs
Allen
Life
one.
was the good
okay,
one.
I was thinking Bugs Life. I like how you
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
The good Disney bug movie.
It looks like a rejected character model from Space Jam 2 somehow.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only thing that I get when I think of it is if Jim Carrey had been green screened motion captured for a remake of Big Bad Beetleborgs, like that is. Sorry, that's a
Okay.
deep reference. I don't know if that's
Sure
for anyone
is.
to see.
Is that a Tim Allen movie, Matt?
No, it's not a Tim Allen movie. Listen,
Big Bad
okay.
Beetleborgs?
So this ant oozes machismo, and after we fantasy up his tightly toned thorax to World of Warcraft standards, everyone will be pouring out their coins or gold or whatever the hell the currency of this game is to own his cocky, horrifying face.
I hate it.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
that's
gonna
real
hate
bad.
it for a long time.
Now, Matt, and
Yes,
don't answer
Andrew.
this if you're gonna get into this later. But when you ride the ant, is the ant like ant size?
That's
Oh,
Or
baby,
is-
we get into it later.
That was my
we
question.
super get
Okay.
into it later.
Okay.
I'm ready
Well,
for that
All
one.
right.
Actually,
God, I can't wait.
Let
he
me
says
ask you. Let
sarcastically.
me ask you a return question, Andrew. Is it better if it's rideable, or is it better if he's giving you a piggyback ride? Because I can adapt my answer.
Honestly,
How does an ant give somebody
Both of
a
those
piggyback ride,
are
though?
worse. Like they get worse each time I switch back and forth.
I want you
Like,
to decide and stick with your decision.
All right,
And
good.
then us to be unhappy with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Listen, I'm
dealer's
committed to this
choice.
bit.
Clearly. Okay, well, thank you for all of that, Matt. Todd, what have you got?
Man, it's not okay. Well, we're here now. Okay, so Andrew, I can't help but look into his intense eyes on the Word doc, and it's
Yeah.
horrifying. Andrew, today you're gonna have people here on this podcast tell you what unusual and silly animals and beasts that they think are worth this A+ promotional deal. They are wrong. What I have is the real answer today, and it just so happens to be a 1914 Model A Sport Coupe that offers you the joy and the danger of riding in one of the earliest man-made automobiles, right? Because
Okay.
that's what the thrill is that people want now.
Is it?
So today, I present to you the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech. Now, this old-timey jalopy wagon, it may not jump out as exciting as a griffin or a mechanical ostrich or whatever WoW has been up to in the decade plus since I have played it. but this is a prime partnership that will get the kids going. You see, Andrew, Georgia Institute of Technology, it was one of the first major flagship universities down in the South and initially only offered a mechanical engineering degree. So it's full of nerds. Nerds love video games. This is great. Further,
That's true.
it's a graph somewhere. Further,
That's a horny jalopy.
it is a horny jalopy. Further, Georgia Tech, it's continued its nerdy legacy. It now has its own esports team like many other universities do. So this is a deal that's just going to make sense. In a time when third parties are looking to just cash in and make lucrative and predatory deals with universities, Blizzard is going to be all in on the Ramblin' Wreck. Now, mine doesn't have the intense stare of Matt's choice, but mine does have a deep and fun and, dare I say, whimsical history that initially the first Ramblin' Wreck for Georgia Tech was owned by a dean in the early 1900s. His name is Floyd Field, and the kids used to call it Floyd's Fiver until that name didn't stick around. They ended up with Ramblin' Wreck, and now we just 100 years later have this jalopy that rolls out onto the field before games.
Does it have an awooga horn?
Oh, it's gotta have an awooga horn. If it doesn't have an awooga horn, my whole argument
Then
is
Todd
empty.
rescinds his response.
Can your friends ride in the mount with you, or is it a single person mount?
It's your friends are definitely recklessly riding on the side. There are
Okay.
no rules to automobiles in 1914, and so there should be no rules on this one. Other baby, we're just doing it.
No
All
helmets
right.
in this car.
No helmets. We cut the seatbelts out.
Safety third Todd.
Yeah, it has the seatbelt, but it's just the one for the whole bench seat. So you and 4 people all have the same seatbelt. So
There's some kid in the rear view.
yeah, it's fine.
You know how kids used to ride back there?
You can-
You know what I'm trying to say?
When you put your kids in the trunk, the good old days.
Yeah. No seatbelts.
Yeah. Back in those days, they didn't need air.
Yeah.
the Ramblin' Wreck for you today, Andrew.
Cool. All right. Well, that was uncharacteristically wholesome from you, Todd.
Just wait.
Okay. That's fair enough. Kyle, what have you brought for us today?
All right. So we all know that like WoW mounts are the original video game bling. So why would you want to spend your hard-earned gold or your well-deserved free time getting any mount that doesn't get you where you're going in style? Anyone can ride on the back of a giant ant.
Whoa.
Pretty derivative of the Bloodfang Widow, if you ask me.
Okay, so see,
And-
I haven't seen that one before. I don't know what you're talking about.
And a car that doesn't fit in a fantasy world, Todd. What are you talking about? No, I think the
Kyle,
best
there is
mount.
a giant Acme rocket. There are no rules in this world.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when I said mechanical ostrich that I was onto something. I think that happened.
That has to exist.
So my argument today is a mount that's going to put a little spring in your step. One that puts you leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. That's why today I brought Zippy the kangaroo from the University of Akron. Why would you ride on the back of your mount like you're somehow superior to these magical beasts when you could ride into battle in style, in Zippy's pouch, like
a
friends
Joey.
or equals?
That's so good. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh boy, this picture you put in the doc is so dumpy. He just has he's got a sweater and Asics on, and he is I would not look at this and
I'm
say
missing out on the pictures.
kangaroo.
Oh, hang
no.
on. I got you.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
got
I
you.
can. Okay, yeah.
Usual for everyone listening, the usual we will most likely put this in the show notes if I remember.
We will do
We're-
our best.
I need to send you a
70%.
picture of mine then, because I have not added one.
That's the link to the search of Zippy Kangaroo.
I'm seeing it. Jesus Christ.
Zippy Kangaroo looks like he
Man.
teaches AP US history.
And then he coaches
Yeah, that's
football
literally
after.
the AP US history teacher, like in the costume. You're like,
Right.
where did Mr. Luther go? Oh,
Kyle was onto it. Zippy might teach AP history, but he's really there to teach phys ed.
He got hired as the D-line coach, and then they found a teaching position
still,
for
so
him.
he goes straight from the classroom to the field.
Yeah, Zippy teaches AP history, phys ed, and sex ed. So get ready for him to tell you about your reproductive organs.
Todd, how did you get my high school health teacher's exact resume?
Because he was also my high school health teacher.
There's
Wait,
10
actually,
in the
you guys
entire
go to the
state.
same high school?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just Ohio education
Yeah.
is garbage.
There are 10 health teachers in Ohio.
Then you never see him in the same place once.
Right. All right, Eiya, what have you brought to this nightmare?
I hope I did this right. So I had to crack my elbow. That was weird. I hope I did this right. I had to ask for permission for this one because I wasn't sure if it was kosher.
Oh, boy.
But I went with my high school back in Colorado, the Evergreen
Nice.
Cougars. Yeah, shout out to those guys. But not your mountain dwelling cougar. This is your bar hopping,
Oh, no.
wears too much perfume, lots of
Oh,
hairspray
no.
cougar.
Is that real?
No.
Yeah, we went one step further. This is 2020. This is going to be all out. So I give you guys the Evergreen Cougar. There are many eligible, bachelors, many single men in World of Warcraft. So now you can have your very own mountable cougar.
Oh, I didn't like that. That one didn't.
Wow. Wow.
So that's it.
Oh.
That's all I
I
have.
don't. Does anything else need to be said?
My tagline is, are you tired of going to bars and questing alone? Well, fear no more. The cougar mount is here just in time for Shadowlands.
Do we have a picture? I have two
Excellent.
questions. Is there a picture?
I didn't know that was part of it.
No, it
Okay.
doesn't have to be.
But I
It
can
doesn't have to
surely
be.
supply
It
one
probably
for you.
shouldn't be.
Please don't kick me out of your call. I hope that's not too much.
And question
No.
2, I'm currently in Fort Collins. How far do I have to drive to see this high school?
It's in it's like halfway between Denver and Summit County. So
Okay. All right.
like 2 hours, something like that.
I'm going on the hunt.
Evergreen is that's where the creators of South Park went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's something so wrong and so right about the idea of not just your mount is a cougar, a bar hopping cougar, but she's going to take you to a place called the Shadowlands. And I don't
Exactly.
like it's
That's
it's
the
like
bar behind the casino.
It's like an old wives' tale that like people tell their coming of age sons, like avoid the cougars.
Yeah.
They'll take you to the
Take you to the
Shadowlands.
Everything the light touches is ours.
Except that area.
I got a DM from Eiya like 20 minutes before we recorded, and all it was how R-rated can I be, and can I use my high school? And I was like, yes to both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not having any idea what was coming.
I don't know, you
It's-
guys. I
it's
don't
excellent.
know what works.
Everything works and nothing matters. Like you said, it's 2020. I do have a follow-up question though. If you wouldn't mind, paint us a word picture of how does one mount said cougar?
Well,
She says with a hand
I
gesture.
didn't get that far, but
Yeah,
the traditional
the traditional way.
position.
Sure.
I'll the worst part is we let Matt kind of off the hook on this question earlier by just saying like tell us later, but no, you
Yeah.
didn't get
I
out
thought
of
she
the
would
zone.
just like fly through, the air like this, and you kind of just hop on.
Listeners, she has her arms up because
Yeah,
obviously
like she
she's
just like
T-posing on us right now.
scanning for other
love it.
mates down below.
we have now transitioned into Second Life, and I'm happy.
That's exactly what I'm envisioning when they flew around with this.
What they do is they circle their prey before they select their rider.
I wonder what a
Fuck,
flock
that's
of
good.
cougars is called.
A nightmare.
That's official. You can take that to the bank.
Oh wow.
It's a happy hour.
Yeah, it is a
yeah,
happy
it's
hour.
happy hour.
Oh, yep.
A happy hour of cougars.
Yeah, it's a happy hour. All right, let's move on.
Boy.
All right. Every limited time event or special collab needs to have its own quest line. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. What are we doing here? How are we going to ram jam all those niche references like we so eloquently talked about the top of the episode? So I want each of you to walk me through the chain of quests that will lead to players finally receiving your chosen mount.
Yeah, so to earn yourself the Mad Ant mount, you are going to have to go through a series of quests through actual hellscape of Indiana, United States of America. Because why in the world, when I could set this in a fantasy realm, like just imagine you and your guild bust through the doors to what you expect to be some crazy dungeon, and instead you get warped to the absolute armpit of the Midwest. Like, I am here to say that the worst state
Sorry
in the
for
Midwest
anybody in
is
Indiana.
Indiana. Listen,
I'm not.
No one's in Indiana. And if you are, you shouldn't be. Indiana's a terrible place. So you'll first need to fight your way through a horde of zombie-like creatures called Hoosiers. Honestly, they're pretty easy to fight, but there is an absolutely unfathomable number of them. Like, way more than there should be. And you will also have to defeat a giant named Mad Anthony, who I guess was like the Revolutionary War general that the Mad Ants were named after, because this minor league basketball team is named after a Revolutionary War general who is from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Anthony Wayne.
What do you know?
That's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to include him somehow. Finally, after defeating the giant Mad Anthony, you must descend into the urban underground to fight the massive Mad Ant himself. Now, I want to be very clear. This is a giant ant.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
This is a massive ant, like American cinema sweetheart Anthony was in the eyes of Paul Rudd in the first Ant-Man movie.
Got it.
Pause for reaction. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Great.
you get a placated nod.
Yeah.
Ding. But it still has the exact same face as the mascot. So, giant ant, like giant
That's the worst
building size
part.
ant with the face of the mascot ant. Exact face. It never moves. It's
The
just
face
that
of madness.
Yeah, that it is the mad of the mad ant. And that glare is enough to make even Leroy Jenkins hesitate. That is the exact one MMO reference that I have in my bank,
Good
and I
job.
am using it now. Thank you. I appreciate
you.
it. Ding. Said the name of the movie.
It's an S tier reference.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
Good job, Matt.
Yep.
You did it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Check the
Proud of
boxes.
Just-
Follow the rubric.
Is it you're sticking the landing then? That's
Yeah,
it?
I mean, I think so. Because, like, okay,
Yeah.
listen. So if I were to pitch you, an MMO horror game, and I was like, it's set in Indiana.
Big ol' ant? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big ant terrorizing the underground of Indiana. That's a game
Yeah.
you want to play.
You're just explaining Fallout 76.
Exactly. Yeah, it's Fallout 76, but in Indiana with less paywall content.
Perfect.
Nailed it.
Well, different.
Got him.
Not better, just different, but
Okay.
different.
Todd, what do you got?
So okay, so like all World of Warcraft, the game we're playing, World of Warcraft quests go, you, Andrew, are going to stumble upon an old gnome surrounded in a bright golden light to indicate that he has a quest for you. So he introduces himself as Jelbin Mechatork, the famous professor emeritus of the even more famous Gearshaft University. And as he sits there, he's tinkering on a large mechanical wasp named Buzz. So Jelbin tells you that a local group of ruffians from the Nomerigan Institute of Tinkering
pretty
ambushed him. Yeah, I know, right? They ambushed him as he was taking the newest prototype mascot that he was working on out for a joyride. So after they disassembled his pet Buzz, he was left incapacitated and without his slick golden A models or golden model A Sport coupe, you know? what all gnomes drive for fun?
Those cars gnomes are famous for owning and driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So Jelbin's gonna tag you to go back and get his sick ride. I mean, that's the way this has to go. So you and a repaired mechanical wasp named Buzz, you are going to have to infiltrate the Nomerigan Institute of Tinkering to reclaim the Ramblin' Wreck and bring back honor to Gearshaft U. What happens, Andrew, because I know you're curious, is that
So curious.
what ensues is a series of antics in the style of the 2003 Will Ferrell movie Old School, as you sneak into Gearshaft University to steal back Gelbin Mechatork's beloved Ramblin' Wreck to claim as your own. This quest is actually going to end with a Halo 1 last level, the Maw, kind of escape ride through whatever I named the Nomerigan Institute of Tinkering as you ride your new mount into the sunset. Now, to follow the trend that Matt just said, I want to paint a picture for you. I want to be very clear. This is a 1914 Model A Sport Coupe that you now drive. Okay, so I've painted the picture for you, so that is what you are now driving.
We got that.
Thank
yep.
you.
We figured it out.
Thank you so much.
Expertly done.
Matt made a point to paint the face onto his monster. I want you to know this is a jalopy. It drives about as fast as a jalopy does. It'll go a little bit faster, but it might explode. So,
Question for you, Todd.
is it about your kangaroo's pants?
No, sure isn't. The old school-esque quest line are one of those minor quests called "You're My Boy Blue," and how many tranquilizer darts are involved?
I'd say definitely. So it's going to be a branching path option where you can either end up. I don't remember what all they had to do in old school. They tied cinder blocks to their business. So there's a number of things that can happen. Short answer would be yes. I'm sure we can figure out something. As many other weird pop culture NPCs are in World of Warcraft. Yeah. Absolutely.
Todd, I have a specific question for you about the 1914 Model A Sport Coupe that you were bringing to this argument today. You had to crank start the 1914 Model A Sport Coupe. Does that mean I have to crank start my mount anytime I want to go somewhere?
That's the summoning animation. Isn't yeah.
Oh, he did more research than
absolutely.
you, Matt.
Gotcha.
It's
there.
not hard.
Yeah.
It's a very low bar, if we're being real honest.
It much like any other mount, it's the summoning animation, and then you just jet forward unexplainably. Because you're now
You don't even press W, you just
Yeah, you just fly
Just
forward.
go.
I
it
mean,
just goes for you.
cars were dangerous until like the 60s. Yeah.
I have to say,
Later
Todd,
than
that
that.
was a pretty good 180. How much time did you spend researching WoW names? Because there was a lot.
So this all started much like some of the things that you do in this, where you have an endpoint and you work backwards. I Google searched Warcraft University, and after I got through all the fan wiki stuff where people had made up their own stuff, I ended up with Gearshaft University, which is a thing, and then it just spiraled. I had a 2-hour Zoom call from 3 to 5 p.m. today that I did not pay attention to.
This was a much better use of your time.
Yeah.
Hopefully your boss isn't listening to this episode.
Yeah, my supervisor does not listen to this podcast.
Gelbin
Gelbin.
Mechatork is a very good gnome name.
Mechatork is just such a good last name.
Yeah.
It does sound very gnomish, I'll say.
And
Yep.
I'll give you that.
that's from Wowpedia.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Then
that's
that
that's
makes
some that's some D&D ass shit too.
Oh yeah.
Kyle, let's talk more about your uncle kangaroo.
How to get zippy.
Pay for your sins with this kangaroo right now.
I'm glad you asked. So Zippy is very emblematic of the industrious spirit of the American worker. So to unlock him as a mount, you're going to have to work for it. First, you will need to head to Ungoro and tap trees until you harvest 40 jars of raw rubber. You will then need to mine 20 pieces of tin ore and refine it into bronze. You will then take your materials to Ratchet on the mining coast to find the cobbler that will make you a very special pair of zips that you need to unlock the final part of your quest. Taking the shoes through a raid until the randomizer finally spits out the Zippy mount for you to use in-game.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
Is this like a real equation to get a legendary mount that you just mad-libbed your way through with
It's
this specific thing that we're doing?
It's similar to what I remember my roommate having to do when he wanted a really rare mount when he got back into WoW. But
It sounds like one just a little less involved.
yeah, I'm sure I'm pretty sure there's he had 8 more steps than I included here to get it.
Oh, there's more steps.
Oh my god, you should see.
Yeah.
I'm going off topic, but you should see some of the achievement requirements for some of the mounts. It's insanity.
It took Ian literally a month to get the mount he wanted.
It's taken me
following all
since,
the
dude,
steps.
there's one mount I'm going for that's literally taking me since 2008 because I keep forgetting.
Fuck, what do you have to do?
Whoa.
So it's
Holy
called
shit.
What a Long Strange Trip It's Been, and you get something called a Purple Protodrake, and you have to do a pretty lengthy and involved achievement every holiday event that they do. Which takes a lot of time in and of itself, and then if you forget it, you have to wait a whole nother year. And I've literally been forgetting to do them since 2000. So the first achievement I ever did in this progression was literally in 2008.
Holy shit.
And I missed
Woof.
one this year, and it's gonna take me another year.
Oh,
It's
man.
the fucking long
man.
game.
Yeah.
And then people wonder why younger kids don't want to play World of Warcraft because
Yeah.
there's no
I,
instant satisfaction.
Yeah.
See, I thought that last sentence of like taking your shoes through the randomizer just to get the drop, I was like, that sounds pretty terrible. Eiya, the things you said are far worse than the things
That was
that Kyle
nightmare.
said.
Yeah, I
It's
went
excruciating.
mild.
Pretty much every World of Warcraft player just hates themselves and hates World of Warcraft, but we're all addicted and we all
Well,
do
you're
it
in it
anyways.
together now.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
pleasure, indeed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, and everybody listening home, get out your bingo cards. Now, in Final Fantasy 14,
Shut
the only thing you have to
Go
do,
now.
all the mounts are just raid rewards. So they just keep it. It's super simple. It's
I'm
just
seeing
rare
a
drops
theme
and
here
raids.
with you,
Mhm.
Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm a single issue voter.
Andrew gets a quarter every time he says Final Fantasy 14.
I
Yeah.
Just
Don't
swear
not.
jar.
Yeah, he owes us. He owes
Yeah.
us,
He
all
owes us a quarter. Yeah.
all right.
Listen, you can either do a bajillion quests or just open loot boxes until you die. Neither one
Yeah.
ever brings you satisfaction.
Speaking of satisfaction, let's hear about riding this cougar.
All right. Okay. So
I had to.
cougar mount, reigns of the astral cougar. I don't know.
Yes.
So first
Yes.
first you have to get cougar riding training, of course.
Natch.
Go.
As
You have to
one
go
does.
to the riding trainer. It's a special skill that you have to go pay for. Much like cold weather flying or grandmaster flying.
Yes,
um,
those are things.
Words.
You can just be making stuff up, and we're gonna agree at this point.
We can
so-
only agree with you because we don't know. We don't have a reference
you
point.
We don't
know,
have a
not
fact
not
checker.
everyone can handle this cougar. I mean, it's she's a firecracker of a mount. You gotta learn the special skills. So you go do that first. That's probably like step one, probably where you want to start. And then the quest chain, it starts off as you actually downloading this brand new, never before seen in-game app that your tune can use. It's called Cougar's Mingle. And then you have to swipe right until you get a match, and that's about a 0.1% drop rate on getting that match on the actual cougar mount. And you can only do that once every week per tune. So it's going to take some time of swiping before you get a match on a cougar.
God.
Yes.
That's
I,
awesome, but sucks.
Would you say that you have to grind to get the right?
Oh, it's a
cougar?
grind. Yeah. Much like many
Right.
of the other mounts you see that have this similar drop rate, it's going to be a while. I would recommend like 5 to 10 alts so you can do them on every alt, on every tune every week, because you can only do it every week. It's a 0.1% drop rate that you can be,
Oh my god!
Right.
This is a real thing, by the way. Like
I know.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
do this,
Yeah.
by the way. I go through dungeons that take me an hour on like 6 alts that have 0.1% drop rates to drop these mounts, and I can only do it every
Oh
week.
my
See, but
God.
what you're doing is real. Whereas now, in the fictitious world of someone having 10 alts trying to grind for this cougar mount is
People would do it.
incredible.
Yeah.
People would do. I'm
Yep.
telling you,
Oh.
we're
Yeah, I believe
am.
that.
All right,
I believe
I love
that.
the concept that you have to catfish your way into this mount.
you
Like-
do. Yeah. They say like the more gear you're wearing, like the better gear, the higher your drop rate
Sure.
is. So get those good angles on your profile picture, guys. So once you do that, once you get that, you get this quest item that starts another quest. This isn't actually the mount. It's called
Fuck.
so you get the quest item, and then that brings you on another quest to go with you and Sylvanas, and you go on a shopping trip to pick out the most flattering transmog. So once Sylvanas is satisfied by your transmog, then this is the final step. Then you go and create a love potion, and that involves going back to your starting zone, whichever starting zone of the race you are, and creating and gathering various regions in the land, and you create your love potion, and that's when you can finally mount your reigns of the astral cougar.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
This love potion that you have to use to
What just
woo
happened?
your cougar.
Yep.
What's the smell of this love potion? Because
Oh,
I imagine it's like old cigarettes.
It's it's special for everyone. It's an experience that you yourself have to go on that journey. It's your special scent.
Everyone smells something
It'll
different.
just take, exactly. For me, I smell grass in the summertime.
Well, we're going to have to figure out what it smells like because
shit.
it's absolutely going to be the IRL merch giveaway at BlizzCon 2025
It
when
will.
this comes out.
Yeah.
It's a special perfume. All the ladies are lining up to get their love potion for the reigns of the astral cougar.
Ugh.
It's captivating.
Oh, that.
Oh my god.
I feel like I had a stroke.
Yep.
I know enough about WoW to know that all of those things are real, but it doesn't make it better.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as I've made it abundantly clear, I don't know much about the current state of WoW, but what I do know is that PvP is a huge part in what makes this game what it's been for so many years. And of course, CEO Totally Not Cuban also recognizes that. And they've gotten the Blizzard devs to agree to build in brand new feature, mounted PvP combat. So we jousting.
All right.
Yeah. Now,
Not out of the realm of possibility.
yeah, for those of you not on the expert panel, you may or may not know awarding amounts as PvP rewards, I assume, has been a thing for a while. but now we're talking about players legitimately fighting each other atop their mounts. So, each of you tell me how you're going to fit your chosen mount for war, and what abilities and skills can you incorporate to beat out the others of this panel. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh boy, I got this one. See, I don't know much about WoW, but I do know things about Twisted Metal. And if you ask me to combine the two, that's a thing I can do. So this mount is absolutely going to come with some crazy bullshit thorax armor for both you and the Mad Ant.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a thing in WoW, but we're doing it. So you'll clearly get some sort of like intimidation bonus in battle because who wants to come near this thing? It's a horror show. But most importantly, the Mad Ant is still an ant. So your mount can lift 20 times its own body weight and absolutely just bully anyone in its way. If you were expecting ant facts today, good news, you're going to get them.
Oh, thank God.
Good news. Matt printed up 20 pages.
According to pestworldforkids.org, when ants fight, it's usually to the death. So we didn't come to play, we came here to win.
Whoa.
Ants can swim and walk on walls, and Mad Ant can do all of those things. Lastly, judging by the Mad Ant's mandibles and sickening red color, he's super definitely a fire ant, and because this is WoW, he can, like, breathe fire or something. I don't know.
That's fair.
I take that as no notes. I'd say that's good. Thank
Okay,
you.
now is the time. I don't know if you said it and I missed it. Now's the time. I need you to stand firmly. Are we piggyback riding it? Is it a full ant? Is it carrying us in its beefy arms? I need the visual of
yeah.
how.
Is it bipedal?
No, well,
Yeah.
ooh, that's worse. No, so back to the last question. This is a giant ant, and as a giant ant, you are riding it like a warhorse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I needed to know for my visual because I kind of wanted the upright, large
Todd's
centaur.
not getting it unless it
carrying me.
carries you in its beefy arms.
There is also something very good about, like, instead of being a giant ant that walks on its 6 legs, being a giant mad ant that is effectively a Gundam that you ride. I like that too, but we're going with Warhorse today.
Okay.
All right.
Todd.
So we've already got this like gnome enhanced tech Model T, Model A, whatever. They're the same thing, and no one understands what cars are in the 1910s anyway. So we are going to cars didn't exist.
Todd.
What?
So
Wait, hold on.
Okay, no questions. Moving on.
Todd,
We
cars very
are-
much existed in the 1910s.
No one knew how they worked. It was magic back then. You just prayed it didn't explode. So anyway, we, Andrew, are fashioning high-tech weaponry like harpoons, flamethrowers, buzzsaws, and more onto these Model A, jalopies. Andrew, I'll just cut to the chase. My answer is Mad Max. WoW is now Mad Max, only with jalopies. So
with jalopies with buzzsaws.
yeah,
attached to
jalopies
them.
with buzzsaws. So it's Mad Max now, but the most fearsome mount are now souped up Model Ts. So expect some wacky races style antics. But with Mad Max. So instead of Instead of fighting over guzzling, though, we are fighting over copper pieces or whatever currency is hoarded in WoW right now. So yeah,
cold.
it's Mad Max with a Warcraft skin. It probably looks a little bit like Twisted Metal, and it maybe plays like Rocket League. Probably, I don't know. That's what we got now.
Whew. That
Dang.
was a journey.
You said high tech and then followed that word immediately with harpoons, and that left me with some questions.
Electric harpoons.
Okay, high tech. There could be high tech harpoons. Yeah.
Based on my knowledge of WoW, harpoons and buzzsaws like jutting awkwardly off of a car isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, a gnome tinkerer could certainly have a backpack that would launch a buzzsaw out of it.
Yep, for sure.
Aya is nodding. That is good.
That's our litmus test.
I don't know enough
I
to
want to
argue with
say
you.
that was an equipment in Hearthstone, like a gun that shot buzzsaws, and it was all right.
What?
Yeah,
That's
Cool.
amazing.
All right. Kyle, how are you gonna joust your Papa Kangaroo?
all right. If Zippy is going into battle, Andrew, he is going to only need 2 major wardrobe upgrades. First, we're going to trade in his classic zips for a spiked pair of shoes, like those made for aerating lawns that you buy out of Sharper Image. So he's just gonna lean back on that tail and kick. And then the second one the second thing we're gonna give him is the best piece of equipment for an unarmed fighting kangaroo. Rubber boxing gloves that'll send Zippy's foes bouncing around the battlefield after each devastating blow.
What's the kangaroo from Tekken? Oh, Roger. Roger the kangaroo
Yeah.
from Tekken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Feels like they kind of phoned that name in.
Yeah, well.
Excellent.
So, Kyle, paint me this picture. This is just going to be like, let's say PvP. Let's say it's like it's 3-on-3 PvP.
Your player character is in
Yeah.
the pouch of Zippy, casting
Joey.
spells
Like
or like a Joey, casting spells or slashing
as
or
Joeys do.
shooting arrows, while Zippy is boxing and kicking like kangaroos do, but it's WoW, so it's extra fun, and he's got a sweater on, he's got those spiked boots, and he's just kicking
Like all
ass.
mounts, he has a sweater on.
Yeah,
I'm trying to imagine the mental image of like half a dozen of these kangaroos just bouncing around on the field trying to kick at each other.
yeah, you got it.
That sounds like a fun PvP event. They do that
Oh, yeah.
sometimes.
It does.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for here.
Call it
And
the
then
kangaroo PvP brawl or something.
and they're rubber boxing gloves, so
A
like
real
when those
original
punches
name.
hit, they
Yeah.
bounce away and go bouncing around.
yeah,
It's-
yeah.
It's wacky
You
and
remember
fun.
that time back in like March of 19 when I got really into ARMS and nobody else wanted to play?
Oh
I'm
yeah.
feeling a little betrayed right now. I just wanted to
Aw.
put that out there.
Well, we're not talking about arms. This is fun.
This is a game people want to play.
I'm gonna go. If you guys just want to finish, I'll go.
Well, don't go yet because we need to know how Sharon is going to be fighting. So, Aya, why don't you walk us through?
Karen
Is that what
and
we're
Sharon.
naming her? Sharon?
Yeah, why not?
The Swift
Alright,
Spectral
I like it.
Sharon.
yeah.
So- I give her actual
Spectral Sharon.
abilities.
Good.
So,
Let's
you
get
Let's get
know,
into it. Let's
Reigns.
get weird.
the Karen is in her golden years. You know. So she has a 10% decrease in speed. However, with that decrease in speed comes a 50% chance to dodge incoming CCs, which is like, you know, like
That's
stuns
good.
and slows and
Crowd controls. I got
yeah,
that one.
crowd,
Oh,
exact-
nice.
crowd control. Sorry. And
You have to
then,
pretend you're explaining this to family because
Yeah.
we know we're not.
Sorry.
ELI 5, everything.
crowd control. So you have
Yeah.
a 50% chance to dodge those, which is good. So
Awesome.
it's a good. I would say it's like a good trade off. And then you have an ability called perfume spray, which you spray your opponent with too much perfume, and it's stunning them for 3 seconds. And this ability you can't cleanse, you can't bubble out of, you can't, like, you're stuck with it. There's nothing
it's
you can
lasting.
do. You gotta sit through it. You gotta sit through the 3 seconds, which is very OP.
That's a long time. That's half
That is
the
a
line.
long time.
It's a long time. And then for armor, have you guys seen Austin Powers? And they have those like female robots with like
The fembots.
The
Yep.
fembots.
Yeah.
The
that,
fembots.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
She got booby rockets.
you've got booby
guns?
rockets.
Yeah.
Yep. Those are just on auto
Awesome.
attack. They just pew, 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 like the whole
Yeah.
round. So
Oh, so you don't have to
Yeah.
key those up?
Do you have
Nope,
the
they just go.
stat for how much damage those do? The continuous damage.
it's let's call it like 2% of the target's health per second.
Oh wow.
Wow.
It's very
That's
strong.
a lot.
That
Yeah.
feels,
Yeah.
those feel
But
like
you
strong
can
moving
interrupt the
rockets.
mount. You can target. You can CC the mount, but you can't
Okay.
CC. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that doesn't have the 50% chance to dodge.
Okay, so Sharon's got quite the weaponry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
She's killing it.
She's packing heat at this Denny's at 4 p.m.
And
Yeah.
I'd just like to clarify also, the Sharon is very different from the Karen. The Sharon is actually very loving and kind.
Oh, gotcha. So
She
it's like a
just likes-
duplicative kind of thing.
She just, she just is a cougar. She just, likes the young stallions.
Ugh.
Feels bad.
Oh, you keybind all your abilities? She goes wild.
Oh,
dude.
my.
Oh my.
Whew. All right. Well, we're gonna move into the super secret bonus question. So, super secret bonus question is: when I say the term RP server, does everybody know what that means?
As of approximately 57 minutes ago, I do. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So for the listeners at home, an RP server is something that's set up in a lot of games like WoW and MMO games where players can join the server and role play as the character or tune. That's a word. Got that.
No, it is.
Or role play as the character that they've created. So, panel, I want you to explain to me how we are going to build a fully immersive community inside these role play servers, these RP servers. Walk me through how players in the RP servers are going to role play riding their new mount. And we're going to answer that question right after this break.
If you've been thinking about starting your own podcast, I've got a new podcast maker app for you to try out. It's all web-based. It's called Alidu, and it automates the production and publishing in your podcasting and offers tools to make editing quicker and easier. All you have to do is record your show as normal, then upload your recordings to Alidu. They'll convert all your files, clean up your volume, your background noise, your hiss. They'll piece all your clips together, add your theme music automatically, and they'll even publish your episodes directly to your host. They have custom podcast editing tools to edit out any of your mistakes before creating your finished episode. And on top of that, they have a free theme music library to polish up your show. Plus, in the next month or so, they're going to be rolling out call recording, so you can record your show right into Alidu, whether it's a solo show with a co-host or an interview with a guest. The idea behind Alidu is to make podcasting as quick and simple as possible. They remove a bunch of the tech barriers and let you concentrate on what you do best, talking about something you love. You can try it out for free for a whole week at alidu.com. That's ALITU.com to get your 1 week free trial. And if you've been thinking about starting a show and need a full guide on how to do that, head over to thepodcasthost.com/start to get everything you need.
Okay, welcome back. Our super secret bonus question is: each of you go through and role play what would it be like to be a player riding your chosen mount in an RP server. And clarifying point, you're the player riding the mount, not the mount itself. Unless you want to go that direction, fine. We will start at the top with Matt.
All right, so that clarification was important because, as I said off the air, I want to bring up on the air that there is a 2 million member Facebook group called a group where we all pretend to be ants in an ant colony.
I don't like that.
The About This Group section reads, in this group, we are ants. We worship the queen and do ant stuff. Welcome to the colony. Now,
hold on. I would be willing to bet, and I think anyone could take this bet, that there is definitely something sexual involved in that group. Yes
ant
or no?
stuff is a broad phrase to
There's
cover a
none,
lot
yeah.
of things.
Ant stuff does feel like a horny dog whistle. I will say that, but I'm not part of that group, so I don't know.
Okay.
Ant stuff sounds like street code for sex things.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Maybe for you.
Well, I mean, maybe this
Sorry,
is projection.
sorry.
We don't
Sorry.
need to delve into Todd's search history. It's
Not about me.
Anyway, I assume that like when you get yourself the mad ant mount, you get caught up in the groupthink of the mad ant colony, because I can only imagine that if there is an entire server of people who all ride this ridiculous ant mount, that they do like groupthink like an ant colony. So I'm assuming that like you just kind of walk around doing one task together all day long, which is great for like group raids and stuff that you need to do. But when you were like, well, I would like to go do this thing, if everyone in the colony is going right, you also got to go right. And the whole point of this server is that you just stay in line and fill your role as an ant.
Yikes.
So you
All
spend
right.
your whole day in the server just like building the colony and doing things.
Doing
with the
what
colony?
everyone else
pushing
is doing.
food back to the colony.
Yeah.
Listen, 2 million people on Facebook tell me that this will work and people will be into this.
Hey, Matt. Matt, I
Yes.
have an honest question. Did you
Go
just
ahead, Andrew.
create? Did you just make a job? Like that's just a job. Like you just invented work.
It does. It sounds like something
That's
from
capitalism. You
StarCraft.
just described capitalism.
Right. you invented the economy.
Yeah, I mean, what are ants but dirty capitalists? Actually, ants are probably more socialist than capitalists.
I was gonna
think.
say,
Yeah,
it might
yeah.
be more, yeah.
This server probably has some like real communist
They're
manifesto undertones.
monarchists for
They're
sure.
they're I would argue they're more like Leninists rather than like
They're
Jesus.
monarchists.
Well, and again, so we need to ask the important question: like, is the anthill a sovereign nation?
Oh my god. Do we though?
What are their intentions? To go back to a reference that Eiya made earlier today, and it validates that they are, I guess, more socialists than anything, would be from A Bug's Life when they're like, ants by themselves are weak, but when they all unite, they are strong. And you're like, yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
Wait, so who gets to be the queen ant then?
Someone who has a terrible time role playing that whole day.
yeah.
I think,
Or a great time.
I think we
guess.
pick a new one every week. Like every week, there is a random role, and one person becomes the queen, and you get no
I
say.
think it should just be Ian Hazakostas. He's like the main dev.
Yeah,
got it.
yep.
Yep. The mod who started the server, maybe
Yeah.
they're the queen.
It's just Matt, actually. That's really his end game here.
This is Matt set this all up to drive traffic to his
Yes.
ant
My
roleplay
based
server.
RP server. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Minecraft server coming next month.
You know what I have to say, Matt? That started really suspicious, really sinister, kind of wholesome at the end of the day.
Hey, thanks. We got there.
I don't hate
Stuck
it.
the landing.
Yeah. Todd, talk about sticking the landing. Todd.
Yeah, here for it. So, role playing this mount, really, there's two things that are like the linchpins to this working correctly. The first we alluded to earlier, you're gonna have to, if you want to ride the Ramblin' Wreck mount, you're gonna have to have an awooga horn. If you don't have an awooga horn, you cannot have the mount. It's just the way that it is, because the only two possible horn sounds is awooga or the cucaracha noise, but it's probably the awooga. So if you do not have an IRL awooga horn, you cannot summon the mount on the roleplay server.
Todd,
Yes, with the hand. Yeah.
Can you give us an example of the awooga horn, please?
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd
we're
love
gonna
to.
need
that.
I
That
was
is a great
born for
question,
this.
yeah.
It's awooga. It's something like that. It's,
I'm sorry, that cut out for me. Can you do that one
No,
more time?
one more.
My
I do
my
see it. I
recording
do
is
see
fine.
it.
A
I do see it.
clean cut. Okay.
Yeah.
Awooga. So, you gotta and like
you
and
sound
if you-
like you sound like a Looney Tunes cartoon,
know, right?
like the wolf that when his eyes bug
Yeah.
out when he sees a pretty lady.
Well,
Yeah.
and that just goes to show you can't fake it on the roleplay server. People are going to know if you're not really role playing this properly. So if you do not have an authentic awooga horn, and mind you, if you look on Amazon, they're labeled as awooga horns. However you spell it is the right way to spell it. So you need that. The other thing is you are going to have to stand up on your wheeled office chair because you are going to have to simulate the sheer danger and excitement and thrill of driving a car from the 1900s. So if you are going to have this mount, you must also be standing on a wheeled chair while you play because it was uncertain if you would ever be safe. driving a car in the early 1900s, and we are going to replicate that in the role-playing server.
And who in the server is going to verify that, Todd?
Who's going to verify that you really care if you're an ant? Kyle? Who knows?
Don't take my thing to justify your thing.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
You're the only other example. Okay, so when Kyle's done, I'm going to ask him who's making sure that he's following the procedures for Zippy.
Who's making sure that Kyle's server members are sitting in a pouch?
No, I've got a better answer, Kyle. Lying hadn't been invented till like the 50s. So if we're really role-playing the 1910s vehicle, then no one's lying.
Todd, I would like a source on your statement that lying wasn't invented
I'll put it in the
until
show
50s.
notes.
Is it the same history teacher that Kyle had?
The same history/sex ed teacher.
Gymstery?
Yeah, back then everyone was wholesome and told the truth. The other answer could be that you have to have your webcam on. Is that good enough? Now you have to see faces.
The boring answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. You're the one who put the bad idea into your roleplay server. I just wanted to make sure how you're...
No idea that makes the role-playing more immersive is a bad idea, Kyle.
All right. Fine. Is it my turn now? Are you done?
You want me to
I mean,
Ooga again? Or you want to go? Or...
Nope. Kyle, whatever. Do it.
All right. So there are two different ways you can roleplay writing Zippy. And the first is that you have to type like boing every time, like while you're moving. You just have to boing, 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 boing. Just until
Well, maybe you don't. WoW players have a thing about like jump spamming, like spamming the space bar.
Right.
So that's perfect.
okay. And you can set your macros up so you're just hitting one button and it's putting boing in for you. That's fine. That's allowed. There is. There is, however, and unfortunately, a dark side to the role-playing writing in Zippy, which is people like writing in my kangaroo daddy, oh woo, and then boinging away, and that's an unfortunate reality we have to deal with in our Zippy roleplay server.
It's a dark side of the fandom that we don't like to discuss.
Riding in my kangaroo daddy is the hit new YouTube single.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Fuck. And does anybody want to unpack Kangaroo Daddy? Are we okay to move on?
I do not want to unpack Kangaroo Daddy.
I would also like to,
because you know it would happen, and you don't want to stare into that abyss.
He says with his fingers holding his temples, Eiya, please tell us how you're gonna role play the cougar.
Yeah. So once you've obtained your very very hard to obtain mountable cougar,
it never gets easier to
The
hear.
adjective mountable was just
yeah. One of the things you do to role play is you sort of summon the cougar, and you go riding it through all your old stomping grounds.
Important question. How do you summon the cougar?
You just, Matt, I thought you did your research. You right click the icon and it summons the cougar.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
like
nothing tricky
mount.
there, Matt. Come on.
Fuck off,
There's
Matt.
no special. It's a very special mount, but it's not that special. Okay, so you summon the cougar. Are we good, Matt?
Yes, we're good. Thank
okay,
you.
So you
Much
summon the
appreciated.
cougar. You're on the cougar now. You've mounted the cougar. And you slash walk. So there's a there's a difference. You can run or you can walk. So you're walking through your old stomping grounds of the bars you used to frequent, the places you used to, try and meet new people, looking for group, whatever.
Showing your mount off.
Pub grades, whatever. Showing your mount off. Like, look at this new mount that I got. It's so great. My mountable cougar. And then the next thing you do is you stalk your ex's Facebook profile. You can do that, while you've mounted your cougar. And I think that's all I've written down. Oh, no. And then the last thing is there's an ability that you can press. It's not PvP related, so I didn't mention this last time. But you can press it. And when you press it, it'll leave a trail of captivating perfume when you walk through anywhere. It doesn't even have to be your old stomping grounds. It can be through Orgrimmar or Stormwind or whatever. And everyone will get a buff that will, make you jealous, basically.
I love the concept that you summon your mountable cougar and then go through your old high school bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take it anywhere.
That's like every day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay. Clarifying question. You said, Eiya, you said you check Facebook. Now, do you, the person in front of your very real monitor, check Facebook, or are you typing in the chat log asterisk check Facebook?
So the app that you installed earlier to get the
Swipe right on Cougar.
the Cougars mingle, it has a separate tab specifically for stalking your ex on social media. So it doesn't even have to be Facebook. It can be
Wow.
Twitter, it can be Instagram, it can be Venmo.
It's in-game Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, you guys don't do that? That's just me.
That's
my God.
awesome. Okay, fun. Well, that it's very convenient. Let's go around. Let's we got to give one last pitch to the, what did I call this person? Not Mark Cuban. Thank you. This is so long ago. Give me your closing statements. Wrap up everything that you've said in this nightmare of an hour, and really, really sell me on your mascot.
Andrew, don't be defy ant. It is
No.
important
Next,
Cut him off.
that you
Cut
pick
him off.
the mad ant.
I hate it.
the mic
Don't
is
hate
being
it. That was
muted.
good. That was very good. I think
was
that
really
that was
good.
very good.
That's
Thanks.
pretty good.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
I
All
did
right.
a pun.
Andrew, in a game where you can be and do, and as we've discussed here today, ride anything, why not choose to drive a Model A Ford that can top out at 80 or 65 miles an hour and wear maybe some cool goggles and a scarf?
There's no way the Model A tops out at 65.
Yeah.
That's what a quick wiki search told me.
Didn't you listen to your high school librarian? Wikipedia is not a reliable source.
You get out of here.
She's got you there, Todd. What can I say? You get to ride around in a kangaroo pouch instead of on the back of like a unicorn or something, or a rocket with a zebra seat, I guess. Like, you get to ride around in a kangaroo pouch, something we've all wanted to do since childhood. I don't see how this isn't an auto include in every WoW expansion going forward.
All right, I'm speaking from the heart here. I'm speaking to my fellow WoW players. All right, listen, boys. Battle for Azeroth was a disappointment. Don't end it on a bad note. Don't be alone. Don't be unhappy. You go get that mountable cougar. You ride into the Shadowlands with pride, damn it.
I don't know what you said, but I liked how you said
I
it.
felt the passion with which you said it.
Thanks.
Yeah. It was a real Commander Shepard answer.
That's what I was getting, the same vibes right there.
I don't know what you mean by that, but all
There you
right.
go. We'll connect eventually one of these days.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, well, we need to something talk with the execs, something, you know the drill. Go around and say some nice things about each other.
Yeah. Todd, the Ramblin' Wreck was an excellent choice. So very good. I, much like you, Googled weirdest sports mascots about a week ago and saw the Ramblin' Wreck on the list, and you grabbed him before I did. Or it, him, it. I don't know why I just gendered a car. That was a weird heteronormative thing that I did.
You wouldn't be the first person to ever gender a car, so.
That is true. Man, Kyle, Zippy. Wow. Every time I drive back to my parents' house, I drive through Akron, and there's just I know, right? There's just so much kangaroo everywhere, which is a weird aesthetic for Northeast Ohio. Like, that's a very strange. Kangaroos aren't native to Northeast Ohio, but
Nope.
This dumpy gym health teacher kangaroo that you have brought is a very good answer, and it's a very good answer because one, like every piece of digital kangaroo content, this is what I wanted Kangaroo Jack to be, and two, the image of being in like a first-person view on an MMO server, but bouncing like you're tucked into a kangaroo pouch is incredible, and I like that a lot. And yeah, Eiya, that DM you sent me before we recorded today, never in a million years would I have thought that it led to this, but goddamn am I glad it did. This was incredible, and thank you so much for being on this dumb show that we do.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Matt, this ant's face haunts my dreams.
Todd
Further,
has seen this face when he closes his eyes for
Yeah.
years and never known what it belonged to.
Further, as happy as I am that you introduced me to the Mad Ant of Fort Wayne, and like the history behind it, I'm even more excited that you educated us over the NBA G League, and that we now know there's a league that is maybe run by Gatorade. That's pretty neat. Kyle, I love crappy looking old mascots. And so mascots from more than 3 decades ago just are horrifying. And I love the sweatpants wearing kangaroo that you've shared with us today and everything attached to it. So for Eiya, I just shared a link in our Zoom. Does everyone remember Petunia from Futurama? If you don't,
Yes.
you should click. That is what I kept seeing and and thinking, and there's probably a smell. Anyway, what you did today was a gift and a curse, and I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that you offered this to us, and you really sold to your target audience. It was very, very good bad.
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
Matt, the Mad Ant is terrifying. It is my favorite new Looney Tune villain, and I have nothing else that hasn't been already said to say. Todd, I mean, what a perfect choice for a mount. Like, if you're gonna pick a mascot to be a mount in a game, why not have it be the one that's actually a car? Good job. A+ choice. And I think you answered the question today better than any of us have ever answered any of our own questions today, because the cougar mount, the mountable cougar mount, is inspired. So that's my good vibes.
Cool. Todd, the car, what was it?
The Ramblin' Wreck.
Thank you. I legitimately could see that actually being a mount in game. Like no troll. I can hear it in my mind. So I really liked that. The kangaroo mount, Kyle. I liked that you knew about macros and the boing thing like people legitimately do in games. So that was really funny, and the whole pouch thing sounded very cozy. And Matt, the ant thing sounds hysterical in my brain because sometimes people will have really small mounts and pretty large character models, and it's hysterical, and I can imagine it in my brain, and it sounds very funny. And Andrew, you did a very good job moderating.
Oh, thank you.
Good job.
No, we don't say nice things.
Yeah,
Andrew,
no, I'm gonna
here.
take
He didn't
it.
do anything.
Well,
Earn
I'm
that.
going to. So
Hey, guess what, guys? I won.
Get out of here.
No, well, she did, but by a landslide. But I'm going to tell
Fair.
you what I liked about each one of your the other ones. Kyle, you brought onomatopoeia to play, which
Oh, yeah.
I was very much into. Todd brought buzzsaws, and Matt brought an entire RP ant colony. So obviously, Eiya won. Obviously, she fucking brought
Yeah.
Nailed
it. She's the only one that actually
Crushed
mapped
it.
abilities onto her person. So yeah, I not only did you brought in just a live person, but you gave them actual cooldowns and basically I can imagine a rotation, which is another word I know about MMOs. So
that was good.
thank you. So excellent work tonight. However, that said, we're gonna need to make a couple changes. So the studio something whatever the acronym I used before, LLC, wants to incorporate those 3 aforementioned things to your cougar to enhance her just a bit. So I will repeat that. We are going to require that you add in some sort of onomatopoeia to the mount. That is non-negotiable. We're also going to require that you add some level of buzzsaws to the mount.
Need to be buzzsaws.
Okay.
It's going to need to be buzzsaws, and we're going to need to have a fully functional RP community that is in constant servitude of the queen. Those are non-negotiable. Those are just things that need to happen in order to move forward. So, we have a deal?
Yeah, do I do it now?
Yeah,
No,
we can talk offline.
You have buzzsaws.
Oh, I was going to do it. I had it ready
do
for
it.
you.
Do it.
All right,
Absolutely.
ready? So this is a cigarette. Ready?
Got it.
All right. So this is the mount, just chilling at a bar. This is Sharon. Hey, honey, you need to do some quests.
Got it in one.
Excellent.
All right, what's a
perfect.
what's a buzzsaw? What's a buzzsaw?
There's like a
Like a
buzzsaw.
buzzsaw.
Like a
Yeah,
buzz.
it's just like a
Wait, that was like a
buzzsaw.
that wasn't really an onomatopoeia, I guess, was it? That's like a sound, isn't it?
The
Onomatopoeia,
cough?
it's like
Yeah.
boing boing. That's like the
Oh.
words of a sound.
All right.
Thwack.
Hold on, I
womp.
can't even say.
Okay.
Ah!
There it is. Awesome.
perfect.
Eiya, thank you so much for joining us. This was a hell of a time. Do you want to tell everybody where people can see you and see your work?
Yeah, I am Eiya Wow, EIYA Wow, on every social media platform but Twitch. On Twitch, I am just EIYA, just Eiya. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Anything you want to pitch?
Okay, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet or not, but I have like a WoW tournament coming soon within the next week. So follow me on Twitter if you want to be notified about that, because the announcement's coming soon.
Cool. Definitely do that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to Debate This. You can follow along with the arguments on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Debate This Cast. Also, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/debatethiscast. And finally, tune into twitch.tv/debatethiscast every Monday at 8 p.m. to watch Monday Night Football, which is just us playing
and
games.
has nothing to do with football.
As of this recording, we are just finishing up Detroit Become Human. So I think when this comes out, it will have been done. Like, it will have been done yesterday.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we don't know yet what our next game is going to be. It's a toss-up between Heavy Rain or Sonic Forces. So
what a dichotomy.
what
One or
a
the other.
Sophie's choice. If you listening at home have any opinion on that, hit us up on social media and let us know what you want to see. Until next time, I'm Andrew Henderson.
I'm Matt, NBA G League, but the G stands for Guild. Cole.
I'm Todd. Mecha Torque is my favorite Tool album. Thomas.
I'm Kyle, Kangaroo Daddy Harper.
I'm Eiya, swipe right for the wind. Long, I guess.
That works.
Yeah, that works.
And we're saying thanks for debating with us. And if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.